Since 2019, OCBC has released their Financial Wellness Index reports every year in order to try to better understand the financial well-being of Singaporeans. In this report, you'll find all kinds of interesting and capable stuff, such as how much are people saving now, what are their spending habits like, are they ready for retirement, and so on. And the result? In 2024, there was a small improvement in the Financial Wellness Index, though it is still slightly below the 2019 score when this index first started. In this video, we'll be going through the reports to better understand the financial wellness trends of Singaporeans. And I will also be giving some suggestions
which no one asked for
on how you can improve your financial health. But before I start, do join my 10,000 members Telegram chat group to discuss or ask any questions that you may have. Alright, let's start by capoing about the saving habits of Singaporeans. Since 2019 till now, Singaporeans' financial strengths and weaknesses have remained largely the same. For example, Singaporeans have consistently scored well when it comes to saving regularly, managing their unsecured debt, and being able to sustain themselves financially for 6 months if they ever became jobless, as well as having enough funds to overcome a crisis. However, despite that, many Singaporeans are still not on track in many areas, such as being able to meet their family's financial needs for the next year, investing, leading a healthy lifestyle, as well as retirement. That's why if you wish to have a solid financial foundation, here are 4 basic but important things that you need to do. First, make sure you have at least 6 months worth of emergency funds. Ideally, keep your emergency funds somewhere where you are earning at least 2.5% interest or more. And most importantly, the funds need to be easily accessible in the event of emergencies. Second, always make sure to spend within your means. The biggest reason as to why most people are unable to escape the rat race isn't because everything is so expensive. Yes, that's true to some extent, but the bigger reason is because many of us are unnecessarily spending more than what we can afford to. So always make sure to cut down on expenses, spend within your means, and don't overstretch your finances. Third, invest the money that you don't need within the next 10 years. This is to ensure that your money grows faster than inflation and you have enough funds to last you during your retirement. As the saying goes, the best time to start investing was yesterday. The second best time is today. The earlier you start, the longer time you have for your investments to compound. Plus, you will also have more time to ride out the market volatility. And lastly, while you are busy earning money, don't neglect your health. Because as the saying goes, you can have 1,000 problems in life until you have a health problem. Then you only have one problem. Quick pause. Weibo is currently running a welcome promotion which lets you earn up to $600 worth of welcome rewards. But first, here's why you should check out Weibo. First, Weibo offers a wide range of markets for you to trade and invest in, such as the US, Singapore, China, and Hong Kong markets. Second, Weibo offers low trading commissions. You can invest in US stocks and ETFs from just 50 cents per order with zero platform fee during regular and extended hours. And for the other markets, their pricings are also one of the most competitive as well. Third, Weibo has a ton of useful features to help you in your investing journey, such as technical analysis, fundamental analysis, analyst ratings, up-to-date news, and more. New users who sign up to Weibo now will get up to $600 in Apple shares when you deposit a minimum of $100,000 by 30th May 2025, 3:59 PM Singapore time. Make 8 US buy trades and maintain the funds there till 29 July 2025. So if you are interested, do sign up to Weibo using my link down below. And let's get back to the video. Next, let's look at the spending habits of Singaporeans. Most Singaporeans have been consistent when it comes to sticking closely to a budget, so that's good. However, there were a number of unhealthy financial habits that have slowly crept up over the years. For example, there was an increase in the number of credit card holders who often pay the minimum sum, and while the number of investors who excessively speculate for quick gains remained largely the same, it is still quite high. Plus, there was also a rise in the number of people who spend beyond the means to keep up with their peers. When broken into individual age groups, it was found that those who are in their 20s have the highest tendency to spend beyond their means to keep up with their peers. In fact, the percentage of people in their 20s who do so has crept up from 15% back in 2019 all the way to 27% now. While OCBC didn't give any reason why this is happening, it is likely that this was driven by the rise in social media. where they see other people doing that online and they try to copy their lifestyle. For example, one survey found that some Gen Zers and millennials claim social media made them overspend on travel after seeing other users' vacations. Not just that, the lack of financial education as well as the easier access to credit in the form of credit cards and buy now pay later schemes could have also contributed to this trend as well. Speaking of credit, the report also found that 41% of credit card holders in their 20s only pay the minimum sum needed for their monthly credit card bills. This is a 5% increase from 2023. And what are they spending their money on, you may ask? Apart from necessities, it was found that 18% of their expenditure goes to discretionary spending, like hobbies, wellness, luxuries, and vacations. Basically, your labubus, Thai massages, and Japan holiday trips lah. Moving on, let's check out the investing habits of Singaporeans. The good news is that there is an increase in the number of people who have investments, so that's nice. Not just that, from 2023 to 2024, Singaporeans are also allocating a larger portion of their monthly income to investments. There's also a rise in the number of investors who are on track with their investment goals. This could possibly be due to the fact that bond yields have been rather high recently. Plus, the market has also been rather kind to investors, both in 2023 and 2024, as it kept going up during these past 2 years. Though, 2025 is probably when they start experiencing their first market crash. Interestingly, despite the good performance of the stock market, there was a rise in the number of people who invested in low-risk investments like money market funds and bonds, and a decrease in higher-risk investments. So, while low-risk investments do give a steady PP return, the problem is that they won't perform as well as stocks over the long term. And if you are too overly cautious, you end up with a lot less money at the end. One tip that I have is to follow the Kueh Lapis investment strategy, where you build up your foundation by first allocating the funds to safer assets, such as CPF SA and MA. Once that is done, you can invest into broad-based market index funds, like the S&P 500 or the All-World Index Fund. After that, if you still wish to take on more risk, you can then look into the higher risk stuff. That way, even if the higher risk investments were to fail, you can still fall back to your safer investments. Next, let's look at how well or how bad Singaporeans are when it comes to retirement planning. Here, it was found that more and more Singaporeans are opting for the most basic retirement lifestyle, where they aim to spend around $2,725 a month instead of $6,150 a month during retirement. However, despite the downgrade in retirement lifestyle, majority of those in their 60s are still underestimating how much they really need for retirement, where they underestimate the amounts that they need by around 22%. Not just that, across most age groups, there was a decrease in the percentage of Singaporeans who have started making plans for their retirement. And overall, only 40% of Singaporeans are on track with their retirement plans. So why are Singaporeans falling behind in their retirement planning? According to the survey, the biggest reasons are because they feel that retirement is still far away and they can just achieve it when the time comes. For example, about 1/3 of them feel that they can just be thrifty and save up in their later years, while 27% of them don't want to think too far ahead, and 21% feel that they have a lot of time left to start planning. Seeing this, I have only one piece of advice here, which is the earlier you start, the easier it is for you to achieve your goals, because of the magic of compounding. Next, in this report, OCBC also covered an interesting trend called DINKs, short for dual income, no kids. As you might expect, couples who don't have kids should perform better financially than their parents, right? Well, check this out. Yes, it's true that DINKs scored better than their parents in most indicators, such as saving more regularly, managing their unsecured debt better, in a better position to pay off their housing loan, and so on. However, despite that, DINKs still fall behind on 8 out of the 24 indicators. For example, DINKs fare worse off when it comes to retirement planning. They have less regular passive income, they are less likely to stick closely to a budget, and fewer DINKs review their financial plans annually as compared to their parents. Not just that, fewer DINKs have also made arrangements for their finances to be managed after they have passed on, such as CPF nomination, setting up bank accounts with their loved ones, appointing a lasting power of attorney, and so on. This is likely due to the fact that DINKs don't have any children, and as a result, they have given lesser thoughts when it comes to these things. For this, I would just say that even if you don't have any children, it's still important to plan for your finances after you have passed on, as you still have a partner and ideally your parents are still around. So it's best to make arrangements while you are still able to. So that was a quick summary of the OCBC Financial Wellness Index 2024. While everyone's financial situation is different, all of us are still on our financial journey. So let's practice good financial literacy, even if it's one small step at a time. Anyway, hope you found it useful. Like, share and subscribe, as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.